Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Engage Educator Show. My name is Isa Span. I am your host, and this is a space where I'm bringing in educators to talk about engagement, the different ways that they are engaging with their students, their families, their community at large. And this is a safe space for us to come in and really talk about what true educators look like, what we sound like, what we do, how we engage in this work, and why we love doing what we do. I am super excited to have my guest on today. She is a native of Charleston, South Carolina. I'm kind of like a play native, y'all. I try to do like the Gullah Geechee. I'm married into the Gullah Geechee culture, but she knows it true and true. And I'm super excited to have her here with me today. She is an educator in Charleston County School District, elementary educator. And I'm going to bring her in to introduce herself and to tell you guys more about what she does and why she's here with us today. So, Akua, welcome to the show.
Good morning, everyone. So yes, my name is Akua Page. I'm an educator. I've been in Charleston County school system since like 19, either working within the after school program or working as an actual teacher.
Okay. Tell us a little bit about the Geechee experience.
So yes, and I started this company called the Geechee Experience with my brother about going on a year ago. Okay. And we created that because we wanted to like really humanize our language and dialect. Because a lot of people, you know, if you come to Charleston, they realize quick, like, hold on, like, what are they speaking? Like, some people will ask, like, are you from Jamaica?
Right.
Like, if you're really not from here, they're just like, I don't understand what's going on.
Right.
So we created Geechee Experience to just to let people know that it is like a legit language. But unfortunately, it gets like demonized or like dehumanized. You know, people only want it when we're like entertaining, like on a plantation setting, but they don't really respect it in the classrooms or in the workplace. So we created Geechee Experience to let people know, you know, like we can embrace the way that we speak. You know, we can be Geechee and also be successful.
Right. And that's amazing. And I when I first came, so I lived in Lake City, South Carolina for a while. And when I moved here when I was 12, I felt that same way. Like I couldn't really understand what my classmates were saying, what my grandpa was saying. And I was just like, wait a minute, like slow down. It seemed like it was super fast and it was just different. But then when I started to teach and my students, you know, would say different things to me when I came back to teach in South Carolina, I was just like, this is almost like not necessarily a code, but it was really like they connected with each other because of the way that they spoke. And when you first started, and when I first saw like you and your brother episodes, I was just like, this really needs to be promoted heavily, because a lot of times our students are told, oh, don't say it that way, or it's not supposed to be said that way, instead of really embracing it and allowing them to bring that into the classroom. So I love that you guys have started this. We're going to get to talk a little bit more about it. But first, we're going to break the ice just a little bit, right? Before we get into our conversation, we are going to do our song association game. So the rules of the game, and this is your first time joining the show, I'm going to give Akua 10 words. She's going to have 10 seconds per word to sing or rap a song. And that song, my friend, cannot be an original, okay? At least, I said 5, but people started cheating. So I'm going to say at least 500 people got to know this song, okay?
Okay, hold on.
You don't get no point. All right, guys, and I gotta do my jumbo. Can y'all see it? I gotta do my jumbo game card today because either my 3-year-old or my 1-year-old stole my other one. So we're gonna do my jumbo card today. All right, so your first word is crib. You have 10 seconds.
Crib, baby in the crib, drooling on their lips, so they might need a bib.
A cool song is it?
That is the song. I don't know who's singing though.
gonna fact check that. If you watching and you ever heard those lyrics before, I need you to comment and save her. But she's not gonna get.
I promise it. I'm gonna send it to y'all, but I might not get a point right now.
I'll put a question mark. She.
Man, it's kind of hard. She is amazing.
What is that, sis?
I need more words. I don't know. I need a hint.
Oh my gosh. No, that's an X.
I think I'm losing this game.
All right, on. It's on your third one.
On and on, on and on. This I can't sing. Okay, y'all gonna laugh at me. On and on, on and on, on and on. I forgot lyrics, but that is a song.
Just because I like the tempo you singing in, I'm gonna give you that. I thought you would sing on and on and on and on. So something.
Cause that is a song. I forgot the name of it. Dang, my sister gonna get me. That's her favorite song. Erykah Badu. That is a song.
Yes, that's what I thought you were gonna sing. All right, Sun.
Sunshine. You brighten up my day. I love you always. Sunshine.
By.
I think her name is Anderson. Lyrica Anderson. I could be wrong about the author, but that is a song.
I think you cheating me. All right. Thing.
That thing. There
you go. Girls, you know you better. All right.
Watch out.
Girl.
That girl is poison. Poison. I forgot how that song. But that is a song too.
That is a song. All right. Focus.
Focus.
Got 9 seconds.
See, I was on the roll there. I was on the ball. Now you tripped me up.
You got this.
Focus.
3 seconds. And I'm being generous.
Focus. Hocus pocus.
What's the song for her? Focus on me.
Oh yeah. And I like that song. My bad, her. I like that song too.
Her, if you watching. All right, man.
It's a man's world. I actually don't like that song, but I remember that song.
But
I don't know who sang it. It's a man's world. I don't know who sang that song. Some old man. Is that not Ray Charles? My bad, y'all. I might be exposing my age. I've been Ray Charles. Who sang that? It's a man world.
That is James Brown, girl.
Oh, James Brown.
Talk about some old man. Oh my God, girl. Let me get you to this game. You got 2 more. All right, people.
It's a Michael Jackson song. They don't really care about us. He say people in one line. Is it they don't really care about us? And he say people in one of them. Dang, I don't get no hint.
I don't know. I think he does say people. I can't know. I ain't cheating for you. All right. Oh, I feel like I'm slowing down. I'm in slow motion. All right.
I like the way you look at me. I like the times we spend, baby. See, I know that one.
All right. I like it. Don't you know
that's the way I like it.
All right. My computer, guys. I think I'm going to slow motion. I can see myself.
You look fine on my end. Yeah, I can hear you and I can see you.
Really? Okay. All right. So I'm gonna give you your score. My computer's doing something crazy.
I'm scared to look at it.
You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You didn't do terrible. That's 6
Okay.
out of 10.
Okay, I'll take my 6.
And somebody was trying to help you. She said James Brown.
I say Ray Charles. My bad, Ray Charles and James Brown.
That was fun. I might just cut that piece and just play that piece. All right. So let's start the show. I'm moving slow to myself. What's going on? Okay, hold on. I'm back. I think I'm back. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right. I'm still going slow. But we're gonna muster forward. All right. So we're gonna do another game. This is a special game just for you. So we're gonna do a Geechie translation game. So I'm going to flash the word. You're gonna read it, and I'm going to say the standard English, like what we would say in standard English. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So this is our Geechie translation. This is a special game, guys. You're not gonna see this in any other episode. All right. So here we go. First word.
Churn.
Okay. So churn in standard English would be children, kids.
Mm-hmm.
Right. All right.
Yeah.
So you got the Geechee, the churn, and the standard English, children or child. Funny story, real quick though. So, so when I taught kindergarten and we read a story about this little girl on the farm, and it said that she churned butter, and it was just like, she churned a kid. She churned. I was like, no. I was like, churn is like the actual way, that they make, like they use different. I can't remember how to explain it to them, but they use the different ingredients to actually churn the butter. But that was hilarious to me. All right, next word.
Bussin'.
Bussin' in standard English was like, that was real good.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So,
yeah, you got it.
Would you only use the word bussin' when you talk about food?
For the most part, yeah. Like when something, like you said, is real good or delicious. Now, the language is kind of evolving. So I'm hearing like some of the kids, they refer to it as like an event was like, they like the event. They be like, oh, that event was bussin', but that's rare. At least I know for my generation on up though, we all just refer to bussin' as food.
Right. Because I would hear my friends be like, oh, that llama beans was bussin'. Or that this was bussin'. That crab, especially that crab. Them crab bussin'.
Gotta have them crabs now.
Gotcha. All right. Next word. Now Geechee translation.
Flam.
All right. What's a flam?
So flam.
I'm supposed to say that. So flam is just like. So my friend called me and she like, hey girl, we're gonna go to the movies at 9, but then she don't ever come. So she flam. She ain't show up.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't stick to your word. That's right. Standard English. So standard English, you don't stick to your word. Geechee,
right.
You flam. You ain't show up. All right. We got 2 more. Geechee translation. Read it.
Dem boy.
Dem boy. So for me and my friends, like I guess dem boy are like friends and family.
It's like gender neutral. Like it can be really anybody. Even if somebody you don't like, you be like, oh, look at them boy over there. I don't rock with them. Or it can be referring to like friends or family. You be like, oh yeah, I going to the boy house. And that's why context clues is really important with the Geechee language, because depending on who you talking to, like we can say that, oh yeah, I going to the boy house, and they gonna know who them boy is. But if you're talking to somebody who like not familiar with it, they're gonna be like, dumb boy, like who?
Yeah. Okay, so it's the context around it.
Mm-hmm.
Lets you know I'm either talking to somebody that's my friend, I'm talking about somebody I don't really rock with like that, or I'm talking about
really just anybody, because them boys, like, it can be, because it can even be like a group of girls, and you can be like, oh, you see them boy over there? So it's like, it's one of them gender neutral terms. It kind of just means people, but I guess that's just how we add flavor to it, like when we meaning people.
Yeah. So standard English, people.
Yeah.
Geechee, them boy.
Yeah.
Gotcha. All right, last one. Geechie Translation.
Bam.
So that's like,
yeah, it can kind of be like that. It's like, you know, excitement. It's like one of them words like, oh, boom, you know. And it was so funny because I was teaching, I taught my pre-K class that, like, once they finish, because they have this, you know, little kids, they want to get up after they're done with any little thing. I said, okay, once you're done coloring, you know, say bam. That's how I know you have completed everything, and you think you did it correct. Because we used to say that all the time after we finished, especially if you're the first one to finish your test, like bam, you know. So it's like one of them, like boom or bullseye words.
So it's more of a sound than a word.
Yeah, because you gotta have like emotion and throw that emotion in there when you say it. It can't just be like, oh yeah, bam. It's like, oh bam.
Right. So if I'm writing it, I need to write it with an exclamation mark.
Yes.
Gotcha. All right. See, I knew some of it, but I learned even more today. All right. So when we're talking about the Gullah Geechee language, how can we actually embrace that in the classroom? You gave a really good example when they're finishing their work. Bam, like I'm done. But how else can it be embraced?
So I'm gonna answer this in two ways, since I had experience with different set of age groups. For younger kids, they already speak Geechee. Like, you know, I'm in pre-K, and so I had like this one little girl, you know, she called her brother her Bubba, and you know that's Geechee for brother, and that's like she was always saying it, and some of the teachers kept trying to correct her, and you know I basically had to educate them on it, you know, because especially at that age, I feel like it's important to let them, you know, speak in their home dialect. You know, at least until they get, you know, to a higher grade, then we can teach them, you know, because really these kids are bilingual. You know, it's not that there's anything wrong, it's just they're coming in the classroom with a different linguistic resource. You know, so I feel like we can embrace it, especially like in the pre-K level, by just letting them let them speak in their own dialect. And to me, it was easier for me to even teach them like ABCs, counting and all that when I would speak to them in their own language versus working on, you know, because they're just really learning how to talk. And with older kids, I found it was even easier to connect with them when I'm teaching them, I'm talking to them in their dialect instead of correcting them. And then when it's time for like an English assignment or something, let them know what you speak is a language, but also let them know that you're bilingual. So when we're in school, you know, let me teach you a way that's going to be on this test, so you can be prepared for it. So. And to me, that works better, because like what I have noticed, you know, even my own experience inside schools, when a teacher is just like cutting you off, oh no, that's not correct. You know, you either shut down or you act out.
It does something to your confidence. It really does.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
It does.
So yeah, so I love that. I love the fact that you're giving them that space to still be themselves. And you're also teaching them, okay, you may see this word, or you may see it worded this way on a standardized test, whether it's like a math assessment, whatever. Well, I know pre-K don't really take the math, but just like in different books, you may not see your language represented in that book. But if you see somebody say yay or somebody say boom, like that's the same thing as you saying bim. Or just like if you see the word brother, that's translated as Bubba in the way that you speak. So it really it's really amazing that you have given them that space, and that you don't mind correcting other educators and teachers that are really just trying to get them to like water down what they bring, because we have to be respectful of what students bring into our classroom. And I don't think we do that enough. Like we have these preconceived ideas of what we want to teach them, what we want to say, but we tend to forget, like, this is a human being in front of you, and they're bringing experiences, they're bringing their own culture, they're bringing their own ideas. So giving them the opportunity to embrace it in your classroom is truly amazing. Now, what does it look like for families? Do you think that we are doing a good enough job of embracing our families in the culture that they bring into the classroom?
No, and I think that's what the huge disconnect is at. And I used to act as like basically like a Geechee translator when I was in the school for excuse me, for parents who only spoke in their Geechee language. Because like you said, you know, like sometimes, especially when we're having report card conferences, and the teacher just is like, you know, I can't understand you, wanting the parents to repeat themselves. And sometimes, you know, that's frustrating. I know even for me, sometimes I get frustrated when I have to keep like repeating myself over and over again versus, you know, just bringing in somebody who understands what they're saying. You know, and just because it validates that, you know, hey, I understand that what you speak is like a different language. So let me bring somebody in who can translate for you, you know, or even just having somebody who, you know, understands them and they can, you know, do that conference with them. So, you know, so they don't feel, because I feel a lot of times parents may feel like they're inferior if when the teacher doesn't understand them, but it's not. That's not it. It just is like, you know, you speak a whole different language. So it's like a language barrier. And that's, you know, so I feel like what schools should start doing is even bringing parents in on that conversation. Because, you know, within Charleston County, they've been having this language barrier conversation for a while now, because they know that a lot of kids are coming in and they only speak Gullah Geechee because that's, you know, that's their culture, you know, that's their home dialect. But what they're not doing is bringing in these parents so they can even understand, you know, like, you know, yeah, we speak a different language and this is how you can we can connect on that level. You know, parents are even left out of that conversation. And I even feel like sometimes they might not even know, you know, because it wasn't until I started educating myself that I realized what I spoke was the actual language, because I thought it was just slang or, you know, just broken English, because that's like what school taught me.
And that's crazy to me that we don't embrace it in Charleston as an actual language. And I think in some aspects we really just don't truly see the value in the language itself. Because if students knew that if we said to students, oh, you're bilingual, like you speak Gullah Geechee and you're able to speak English, I know for sure that their confidence would soar. Like they would feel like they can teach it to others. Like they would just feel important knowing that this is special, instead of it being something that's wrong. And even for parents, like a lot of times when I would speak to my parents, like I said, I could understand them because my family speaks that way. But there would be instances where they weren't understood, or they weren't confident in speaking up because they knew that, you know, they weren't speaking proper English. So what else can educators do to make sure that they're really supporting their parents and supporting their families, aside from the translations, aside from someone just really being there to support them? What else can we do?
I think one thing that can be done is having like a bilingual program, but it's not just for kids. It's like, you know, generational, you know, so all families can benefit from it. Because even like language evolved with the time. So even like, because the way that I speak, the way that my elders speak, their Gullah Geechee is slightly different. You know, and that's really important, because I was listening in on one of the they was doing some program. I think it was in Wamala. You know how Charleston County, it's Charleston, but we still have like little counties or cities within.
Right.
I think it was in Wamala, and they was trying to educate the teachers on the Gullah Geechee dialect, and I was listening to the words, and the words probably is beneficial for that area, but some of the Geechee they was presenting, that's not how we speak in North Charleston. But unless you're a part of the culture, you wouldn't really know that Gullah Geechee is different depending on if you're in North Charleston, West Ashley, downtown, James John Island, Beaufort, you know, because we have like our own variations even within it. So I think like really approaching it from a bilingual standpoint would be beneficial. And like you said, it would not only make the kids feel good, but also make the parents feel more confident. Like, okay, yeah, I'm bilingual. And I feel like they'll be more confident with saying, hey, I'm bilingual, but my English isn't that great. I feel more comfortable speaking in Geechee, like, because they can even stand up for themselves. Like, hey, do you have like a Geechee translator, or, just take your time with me because, my English isn't that great. I only know Gullah Geechee, but I feel like a lot of our parents and students, they don't have that vocabulary. They don't know how to like speak up for themselves in that situation.
Right. And just for the viewers that are listening in, so what she's explaining is really close to like if you ever worked with Spanish speaking families. And during my first 5 years of teaching, that's who I worked with the most. And I had to learn that different Spanish speaking countries actually speak Spanish differently. So some of the words and some of the phrases that I was taught to use with some of my kids that maybe came in from Honduras was completely different from a family that maybe came in from Cuba. So that's the same thing with the Gullah Geechee. Like in Wamala, they may say these words, but in Charleston, we may say it in a different way. So just understanding that not all of the language is going to be the same. And it is a different language, and we have to embrace it as a language. So I love that you brought that point up, and I just wanted to make that that connection for individuals watching. Gullah Geechee is completely new to them, so I wanted to just make that small connection so that they understood. So moving into, so we're in July. We've been in quarantine March, April, May, June, July. We've been in quarantine for a good little minute. But school has ended for you. And I want to know, what was that like to have the younger students do e-learning and work virtually? What was that like?
So to me, it was a challenge at first. So I honestly took matters into my own hands because honestly, we ended in the school I was in like April.
Okay.
When they finally was like, I want to say like close to the end of April though. Was like, okay, we have to shut down school because the whole COVID-19. And it was flirting with the idea. And some of the other teachers, they did do that. But I took it upon myself, and some of the parents was like, well, especially for like a 4-year-old, doing this virtual is not beneficial. I need somebody one-on-one. So honestly, I basically took the initiative, and that's what I was doing. For a while, I was going to parents. I was meeting with parents, meeting with their kids, and also because parents were still working, and so the responsibility was on their older kids to basically make sure the younger kid is doing the work. And and sometimes that's like frustrating for the older kid because they're like, well, this isn't my child, or they have their own work. So that's what I was doing to help with that situation, because I just felt like, and also just hearing from parents, it wasn't really beneficial. You can't really expect a 4-year-old to like just stay on a computer or tablet for hours at a time to be focused. And then also in last year, we was arguing that kids shouldn't even be on a tablet, that long. And now it's like, well, let them be on a computer or tablet for like what, 7-8 hours a day. Yeah. That's not helpful. And when I also discovered, you have families who live like in a rural part of Charleston, and even though they get free internet from the school, but the internet is spotty because they're out in the country. So like, so I really had to be like, okay, well, who needs this? Who needs what? We can come, I can see where I can print out stuff and help people, because it was like the school wasn't, and I don't know, that's from like a privileged standpoint, because, you have access to internet at home. So you're not really thinking, well, what about these families who live out in like the country who may not have access to internet, who have access to internet, but it's not that great. And they have a whole bunch of kids who are using the internet. So it was like, how can they, how can everybody utilize this internet at the same time? So I really had to like be creative and think outside the box, because it was like either wait on the school and I knew they wasn't going to do anything, or try to help out, with the parents and their kids, so they don't fall behind. And that was really what I was scared of the kids falling behind, especially since I know, like, technically, you can't fail pre-K. You really can't fail kindergarten either. They're still going to push you up. But I know, like, how that's, like, that's not really, to me, it's not a good solution. I understand the point, but it's like, I just feel like they're doing more harm than good.
Right. To push them through.
Right.
We really have to have very honest conversations that pre-K and kindergarten like are the foundation. Like we have to build these foundational skills in pre-K and in kindergarten. And we wonder a lot of times why third graders don't know the multiplication facts. Why third graders don't, read their sight words. And it's because really like we have to change our mindset about pre-K and kindergarten. And it's not playtime and plastic food and sandboxes. Like we really are teaching them foundational skills. And what you were doing is what not a lot of educators didn't go that excuse me, didn't go that extra mile to make sure that we have the handouts or we have internet or my children have the resources that they need in order to be successful. And that's really what I want to highlight in this space, because it is sometimes it's that negative connotation that the teachers aren't doing what they're supposed to do. The parents are left out on their own. So we really have to change that narrative and let individuals know there are some educators that are really working hard to make sure that students are successful and that they get what they need. But a lot of times it's only a handful of us. So we don't, so we're not in that spotlight and we don't show up because there's more of us not doing what's necessary than it is that are doing what's necessary. So absolutely thank you and appreciate, the extra mile that you took just to make sure that your students and your families were learning during this time. I'm not sure what the fall is going to look like, but I would assume that the work is not done for us. We're going to have to work 10, 20 times as hard to ensure, that students are still on track. So moving to the end and to the close of our show, I'm starting to give my guests the opportunity to have a Dear Black Child moment, because I've noticed over the years that we really have this social justice piece in education that we have to, as educators, that we have to not ignore. So this time is really for you to share any kind words, any affirmations, anything that you would like to share specifically to the Black children that are being pushed out, told that they can't be successful, not being given the opportunity to truly embrace their culture. I want you to speak to them how you see fit during this Dear Black Child moment today. So the floor is yours.
So I wrote this poem, I wrote it like 2 weeks ago, so bear with me. After I just finished reading this book called Linguistic Justice, and it basically talks about, like how our kids, even kids who are not Gullah Geechee, Black kids in general, most of them, they come in the classroom speaking like AABE, which is African American Vernacular English, or some type of Black language, but it's not embraced or honored in the classroom. So after reading that book, I really wasn't just inspired to write a poem that relates to what I do at Geechee Experience. So, and it's titled "My English Ain't Broken, I Geechee."
Oh, I love it already.
So, my English ain't broken, I Geechee. My English just different, he ain't deficient. My English ain't broken, I Geechee. I bilingual. I speak 2 languages, African mixed with a low English. My English ain't broken, I Geechee. I don't need speech class just 'cause I talk fast. My English ain't broken, I Geechee. My English don't need to be fixed. My folks Gullah Geechee. That's why I talk like this. My English ain't broken, I Geechee. Them boys say I have to code switch, put my Geechee on pause. But I don't wanna turn my Geechee off. My English ain't broken, I Geechee. My English ain't bad. My English ain't ignorant. My English ain't broken, I Geechee.
That's what we do
That's it.
in the cafe. I love that. Every kid, every elementary kid especially, should have that poem.
Thank you. That's what I was thinking of when I was writing it. And then I was also looking for like books written in like either Gullah Geechee or like the AABE, and I couldn't find any book, like modern book, that speaks, like, where like the language is represented, like how Black kids speak. And I couldn't find anything.
That's
so I'm just like,
that's because you need to write it.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what I'm noticing. Like in this season of my life, if it's not there,
right,
you're supposed to do it.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
And that is amazing. That will be beneficial to so many children. I know, especially our young elementary students, because just like we talked about earlier, like they aren't celebrated, right? They are not celebrated when it comes to their language. And I'm gonna start telling them, hey, y'all are bilingual. There's nothing wrong with the way that you speak. There's nothing wrong with how you express yourself. You are bilingual. That's what I'm taking from my conversation. That's what I'm going to start telling to my students and to the children that I serve, because they need to know that, and they need to feel that it's celebrated. So as we wrap up, I truly thank you. I thank you for your presence. Thank you for coming in to share your thoughts and ideas. Thank you for planting seeds. I can't wait to see that poem nice and published, even if we have to work together behind the scenes to get it done. I know that will definitely be amazing. So thank you so much for joining me on today. And I will share all of your social media handles once we end the live. Tell them where you are, and I'm going to share your handles.
So I'm everywhere, y'all. You can follow me at Geechee Experience on Instagram, and that's Geechee spelled GEECHEE Experience on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, also on TikTok. Type in, I think, Geechee X, YouTube. Yeah, just follow the journey.
All right, awesome. And the journey is amazing. Like I said, I love it. It's great for our students. It's great for their families as well. So keep pressing, keep doing everything that you are doing. I am definitely here to support whatever you're doing 100,000%. Just let me know. Get to creating, copyright that poem, publish it, because we're gonna make some changes, and we're gonna make things shake.
Yes, let's get it. Thank you for this opportunity.
No worries. I will talk to you later. And I think that, let me see. Yeah, you're going to come back, because it was your score again, 6 out of 10. So we're going to come back.
Yeah.
We're going to let you go study. We're going to let you go study some artists. Stevie Wonder and Ray Charles are not the same people. So we're going to let you go study, and you're going to come back and tell us more about what you're doing. Okay,
I'm gonna come back and get a 10 out of 10.
Right, 10 out of 10.
All right, y'all, bye.
All right, everyone, thank you guys so much for joining me on today. That was great information. I hope that you guys learned something new about Gullah Geechee culture, about Akua and her work. Like I stated, after the live is done, I will put all of her social media handles in the post so that you can follow her, follow the experience. If you are a teacher in Charleston, South Carolina, use some of those tips and tools so that your young children, your young students will embrace their language in the classroom, guys. And if you would like to be a guest on the show, I will also include that link for you guys to sign up. Thank you guys again so much for watching, and I will see you on the next episode. Have an awesome, terrific Thursday.